Hello, everyone, and welcome to the webinar of today. I hope you're all doing well. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Laura and I'm a part of the customer success team. And today I'm going to show you how to create a map. And with a map, I mean something like this. So here you have a nice visual of sales data compared to different regions in the world and also divided by male and female. All right, so today I'm gonna show you why you should use maps. I'm also gonna talk about the different data slots you need to create a map, the geography data, which is very important, and last but not least, I will go to Camelayo, show you everything so that you can see step by step for yourself how you need to create a map. All right, let's get started, guys. First, why would you use a map? Well, that answer is very simple because it's a very nice visual tool to show your values compared to different regions in a glance. And you know that there are also multiple use cases like sales data that you can compare, demographics, logistics, everything you would like. And it's just very nice to have it in your dashboard because it gives you a higher wow effect than a data table. All right, so it's very clear why you would use a map. Know that we have 6 different maps in Camelayo. There are 4 maps that you can use if you want to use colors or size, areas of circles to compare our data over different regions. So these maps are the Choropleth, the symbol map, the heath map, and the Hexby map. So they use colors and also the size of an area. Now we also have a marker map if you, for example, want to show where your locations are for your different stores so that you have just different points on your map. And next to that, we also have a route map, which is very handy when you are in logistics. You can use that to visualize a route for your different vehicles. So that's also very nice. Now, I told you why you would use a map and I showed you the different maps we have in Camelayo. Now, what do you need to create a map, right? Just like all the other charts in Camelayo, the maps also have different data slots. The first slot that you need is very important. We call that the geography data slot. And that one you need to add data to create the map, which is underneath. So the underlying map will be created by geography data. And what you can use for that are first one, coordinates, or secondly, topography. I will show you later on in Camelayo what it means and how you can create them. Secondly, we have our measure data slot. Here you can drag and drop your sales numbers, for example, and that will actually create different items on the map, give them the colors, shape them in the right shape, and that's also needed in every map. So these 2 data slots are the basics to create a map and will give you a lot of insights already. But know that some of our maps also have a third data slot, for example, category or color. You can use this one if you want to compare your data over different categories as well, for example, female to male. Secondly, we also have time data slots in our route map. This will make sure that your different data points are in the right sequence. I will also show you in Camelayo later on how you will do this. All right, so that were the different data slots. You need geographic data, you need measures, you also need, or you can also use the category and color slot, and our route map also has a time slot. Now, the most important one, geography data. Let's go into detail there to see what you can use. The first option are coordinates, and coordinates are different data points on a map that exists of a latitude and a longitude. When you go to Google, you can just type, for example, coordinates Leuven, and then you get what you see on the slide. And in Camelayo, we need all the numbers before the dot and also the 2 numbers after the dot. And as you can see in the image below, you can put that in two columns, two different columns. You can have a column with a latitude, a column with a longitude, and then by using the spatial formula, you can merge them together in coordinates, which I will also show you later on. So that's our first option. Our second option are the topography. Topographies actually cover a full area. For example, our Choropleth map is all about coloring full areas, so the Choropleths can only use topography data. You can upload your own topography data, which needs to be in a GeoJSON or TopoJSON format. But you can also use public data sets we have in Camelayo. You can just go there and search, for example, with the term nuts, and then you get the data sets you can see below. And when you click on one of those data sets, you see that there are just 3 columns, for example, with the abbreviation of the country, the country name, and also the topography column. This latest column, the topography column, you will use in the geography data slot in your map. I know this column doesn't say much as you see there, but once you put it on the map, you will see that the map is created. Know that if you work with a second topography data set, you actually need to link that one to your data set containing your measures, because otherwise the map won't work. That's the same for every chart in Camelayo. If you want to use data from 2 different data sets, you need to link them before you can use them in the same chart, all right? For coordinates, they can be in the same data sets as your measures, or you can also make a second data set for this and then link them, all right? So that was very important. For the geography data, you can use coordinates or topography. All right, now the most exciting part, I will go to Camelayo and show you how to create this map. I will show you the different steps to follow. All right, now I want to have a symbol map where I can see my sales data on and also divide by male and female. So what I will use for that are my 2 United Widgets datasets, which you can also find in your own account when you go to our demo data. Let's open them in another tab. So here we have our sales data. We will use the column containing the amount of our sales data. We will put this one as a measure. And in our customer data, you can see that we have a column with a latitude and a column with a longitude. So now we will use those to make our coordinates. We will start with that. Add formula, coordinates as a title. And then in the middle, I can click on a blue button, scroll down and choose the coordinates formula. When you click on the formula, you have some explanation on the right side that can help you out. So first, I take my latitude column, secondly, my longitude column, and the third part you actually need to add to make sure that the coordinates are in the right format. All right, click on create, and then the coordinates will be created in a new column at the end of our data set. So here we see that the 2 columns with the latitude and longitude are merged together in coordinates. We can use this one already on our map, but first we need to link the 2 data sets, because we have the coordinates in the customer data set, but the sales values I have in my sales data set. And if I want to use them in one map, I first need to link them. So here I search for my customer data set. If you want to know more about linking the different rules, you can always go to our academy and see all the details there. So I go from my sales data set to 1, and then I click on apply. Yes, there we have it. If you want to make sure that the link went well, you can just click on the link button again and you see that it's still there. All right, so now we can go to our dashboard and start creating a map. I already prepared a small dashboard for starters. All right, here we have a symbol map to start with. So I will first show you how to create a map with coordinates. And my coordinates are in the customer data sets. The best thing to do is always start with your geography data. Simply take them, drag and drop, and you now see that the map is being created. You also see that there are circles already. Those actually indicate how many rows I have for each coordinate. So here I have 2 rows for the point here on the map. Now I want to add my measures, so then I go to my sales data set, I take the amount in my measure, and then you see that the map adapts, the circles adapt, you can zoom in. Let's go for Europe, for example. And then when you hover over the different circles, you can see that the amount is there. The bigger the size of the circle, the higher the amount. Now I also want to compare male to female, and that's in my customer dataset. Here I have a gender column, which I drag and drop onto the color data slot. And now you see that I have 2 colors for male and female to indicate which point is what. All right. You also see it when you hover over the different circles. So guys, now we already created our first map using coordinates. Now let me show you how to use topography. Therefore, I'm going back to my datasets overview. And I will show you which dataset I will use, the dataset that contains my sales data. Here you see it. I have a column with a country abbreviation. I will use this column to link with my geography data, which is in another dataset. But this is a common column, so I will use this one to make the link. Then I have my latitude and longitude as well that I already created coordinates for. Here I have my sales data for the measures, and here is a column with different numbers. This one I will use later on for my route map. But first I'm gonna link my sales data to the public data set. So you just click nuts and then I can use this one with this one. All right, I click on apply. This takes a while. And now if you want to make sure, just click again on links and it's there. All right, so now we can use the topography data from the nuts data set as well. So I go back to my dashboards and now I will use a HexBIM map to show you how to use the topography data, yes. So here I just search for the dataset containing the topography. It might take some time because maps are quite heavy to load, but that's not a problem. So here I take the topography column, put it as a geography data slot, and now you see that my map is created as well. And once again, I already have hex bins. It's because you see how many rows I have for those topography data. You also see that the colors indicate how many rows I have. The darker the color, the more rows I have. Now I'm going back to my sales data and I'm gonna take the sales column. You see when I drag and drop that only the measure slots lights up. That's because Cumul.io knows this is a numeric data set or a numeric column, and you cannot use that for the other slots, but only for the measure slot. So that already helps a little bit as well. Now you see that the legend adapted and my circles or my hex bins as well. You can also zoom in and out. Now I can also show you the route map below. So first I take my coordinates again, my sales data, which I actually don't really need. in this one because now I already have the different coordinates, but now I want to make sure that my route is in the right sequence. So what you can do then is actually take the column you added with the different numbers to the time slots, and then now you will see that the coordinates adapt, or the route adapts to follow the sequence I added to the time slot. So that's very nice. You can do that as well. It's very easy. If you want to know the sales as well, you can of course also add them to the color, and then now you see the darker the color, the more sales on that point. But for a route map, that doesn't say a lot. All right, so these are the possibilities to create a map. Coordinates, as I showed you in the symbol map, or using topography from the public data sets in HexBIMAP. Make sure to link the sets so that you can use them together in one map. Now, another thing I would like to show you are the different options you have, because there are many. I would say try them for each map, because each map has its own layout possibilities, which are very nice. A nice thing I want to show you is the pitch and rotate, which actually means that you can not only go left and right, but when I click on my control and then play around with the mouse, you can actually put the map in every direction as you desire. So this is very nice, a nice extra. If you pin a view, that means that if you reload the dashboard again or reopen the dashboard again, you will get to that view immediately. Here there are also different map styles, for example, the dark one, which I like very much, especially when you also have a dark theme. You see that this gives a great visual effect. And what you can also do is change the colors of the circles. These are actually based on your theme as well. Let's go to change them. They are actually based on a color play below, and you can easily change them by drag and drop or adapt the colors over here. So that's also very nice, very handy to create a map as you desire with a layout that you like very much. So guys, this was already it. I showed you how to create maps with coordinates or with topography, and as you can see, there are many layout possibilities. So guys, I hope you learned a lot already. Let's make a small recap of what we've learned today. A map can really give you an extra wow effect in your dashboards. It's very nice to compare your measurements over different regions, and depending on the map there are different data slots, and for a geography data you can use a topography or coordinates, and know that you need to link the data sets if you want to use them in the same map. Alright, I hope everything is clear. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions left, don't hesitate to reach out to us via support@kumul.io. Alright, thank you very much and see you soon. Bye guys.